All right, guys, this is going to be a short one. Head's pounding, dehydrated. And I've got my best teacher ever cup here, which I feel like I've earned. So earlier today, I did a whole live stream about Revelation, why Philadelphia teams were doing so well, and how it all synced up with Daniel's 70 weeks. And would you believe it? Philadelphia defeat Houston 7-0, like 70. This is scandalous now. I did a post when it went 7-0 on my website. I left a comment that said it's probably going to stay 7-0, and it did. If anyone wanted to bet on the under, but it's not about betting at this point. This game was scandalous. Honestly, the code yesterday was for Houston to win. It got postponed, in my opinion, by Satan. And then this game was so hard to call. But the fact that it finished 7-0 after my whole live about Daniel's 70 weeks is quite simply incredible. And by the way, the NBA season, I told you it began on 10:18. Luke 10:18 is about how Satan was cast out of heaven like a lightning bolt. And it began 10 days before the World Series, which was on Bill Gates' 67th birthday. I told you all about the 67s with Philadelphia and Revelation. And then the NBA regular season finishes on 4/9, which, guys, is the anniversary of Prince Philip's death. And 4/9 is 7 times 7. It's the 77th NBA season. Revelation in Gematria is 49, as is Antichrist. And I've told you before Jesus returns, which he will, the Antichrist will be here before. And he's going to try and deceive and trick people. Okay? He's going to be cunning. He's going to be able to manipulate the minds of people. He's going to be the hero when we need one. Because I've told you the world's going to go to absolute shit. So here will come the Antichrist to save the day. But don't fall for it, okay? Top of the morning to you, Brusak Noodle. How you doing, baby? All right, so let me get this straight now. Philadelphia Phillies 7, Houston Astros 0, like 70. All right, I told you earlier in my live that the Philadelphia Eagles, all connected to Revelation, are currently 7-0 in the NFL, having a perfect season. I told you that Queen Elizabeth was the queen for 70 years, and she is so synced up with Philadelphia. Remember this. This is big in itself. This is big in itself that the Illuminati, yes, the Bavarian Illuminati were founded May the 1st, 1776. The Declaration of Independence was signed in Philadelphia on July the 4th, 1776. Queen Elizabeth was born 1,776 days after Prince Philip, the man who said when he dies he wants to come back as a deadly virus. This is deep, okay? It is incredibly deep. So, hey, Mark, how you doing, baby? Divine, still awake? It really is the morning. It's early morning. Zach says Phillies can win it 4-1. Check out his post today. I can see why Zach thinks that. I think 4-2. I did a post at the beginning of the World Series that I believe it'll be 4-2. I told you the NHL Stanley Cup would be 4-2 to Colorado. It did. The Warriors beat Boston Celtics 4-2. The most recent World Cup final between France and Croatia was 4-2. I think this finishes 4-2. And I said at the beginning of the MLB season, I think the World Series finishes 4-2. And a lot of people can back me up on that. I'm sure I probably posted it as well. I can see why he likes 4-1 if it's all about Kobe Bryant. Because this game was so connected to Kobe Bryant, undeniably connected to Kobe Bryant. That is why Philadelphia are now 11-3 in the playoffs this season. And in Gematria, Kobe Bryant equals 113. He was drafted round 1, pick 13, 113. He made his NBA debut November the 3rd, 113. And if Phillies win this 4-1, I don't think they do. I can see the argument for it. Personally, I don't think they will win it 4-1. I think it will be 4-2. But if they do win it, guys, it will all be Kobe numbers. And I've told you Kobe's connected to Revelation because of his numbers. His highest scoring game was his 666 game. He had a 666 workout plan. He died 497 months and 3 days old, the 666 prime. He has all the 42s. His last ever game, he played 42 minutes. His first NBA Finals, he won 4-2. The year he died, the Lakers won the NBA 4-2. All the NBA Finals since his death have finished 4-2. And Kobe's from Philadelphia. And LeBron overtook him in the scoring charts the night before Kobe died. Did it in Philadelphia against the 76ers, and 7 times 6 is 42. LeBron James equals 42. Lakers 42. Georgia Guidestones came down 42 years after they were erected. Rishi Sunak's 42. I think it's going to be 4-2. And if it's 4-1, it's going to be scandalous. I think it's going to be 4-2. So, just so you know, guys, the Major League Baseball was founded exactly 100 years after the Declaration of Independence was signed. 1876, Cincinnati, Ohio. And it was founded by Freemasons, which is a fact. I've broken down everything to do with baseball and the Freemasons. It is quite simply off the charts. All right. It's a whole ritual is baseball. Okay. It's less a sport than it is a ritual. It's so slow paced. The players are immobile most of the time. They're standing on their geometric shapes. All right. I don't even know if you can class baseball as a sport. It's a pitcher's league. All right. I don't even think these pitchers are controlling their pitches. I think it's supernatural. So I think baseball, it's ritualistic and it's clearly Masonic. It truly is. The invention of baseball, it's usually credited to a guy called Abner Doubleday, which is hilarious. Doubleday. That was back in around the 1870s, because then 1876 was when we got Major League Baseball. And this Doubleday, which is a joke, if these people even exist at this point, he was a United States Army officer and a Union general in the American Civil War. I just don't even believe this person existed. And after he retired, he became a prominent member of a Theosophical Society, an organization that researches the esoteric and the occult. So there's no doubt that this guy had extensive knowledge of occult symbols, sacred geometry, and numerology. And I think the people that are technically running the show, they do have this extensive knowledge of occult symbols, sacred geometry, numerology, astrology, philosophy, psychology. The list goes on. If you think of baseball, guys, you got to think about the square and compass, which is so Masonic. Okay? While pretty much almost all sports are played on rectangular fields or rinks, like your hockey, baseball's played on this peculiar shaped field. All right, which considers, basically it contains sacred geometry. All right, the field bears an astonishing resemblance to the square and compass of Freemasonry if you look at it. The field from home plate to the left and right wall forms a compass. Check it out. I've told you, like in professional football, the 18-yard box is made up of 666. The 6-yard box, the penalty spot's 12 yards, and the 18-yard box is 666. It's wild learning all of this, guys. It really is. The field from home plate to the left and right field, like I said, it forms a compass. The entire outfield wall is the semicircle, which this compass draws. Upside down, overlapping this compass, the bases form the square. Thus, the baseball field is the emblem of Freemasonry. So when I used to say the Freemasons dictate the outcomes of these sports, I believe it's Satan, but the Freemasons are aware of the sacred geometry. Okay, the players who are participating in these games are completely aware of who they're worshipping through the symbolism. To be honest with you, if the Phillies end up winning the World Series 4-1, it is highly likely the Eagles will represent the Super Bowl because 41 has a powerful connection to the big game Super Bowl. Super Bowl equals 41, doesn't it? I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't have them to get to the Super Bowl. But let's see. Let's see what happens with the Phillies and with Philadelphia in the MLS. 18 in the live, 12 likes. That's the date of the World Cup final. Hey, Handsome Jake. Loving that name. So, yeah, I won't get too carried away with Philly winning it. More often than not, the team that comes flying out of the blocks in the NFL never wins it. So often, it's a team that does pretty average. All right, that does pretty average. Remember, like the Bucks came out of nowhere. I don't think many people expected the Rams. So the Eagles are having this perfect season right now, all connected to the numbers. I personally don't think they win it. And the thing with this knowledge with sports, I've said this now, you could probably look at any team and find a riddle for them if you really wanted to. The stuff I'm presenting here is the illusion has gone online. It's talked about Revelation. It's talked about how it connects to Philadelphia. He's banged on about Daniel's 70 weeks today. He brought up this game and how it'll be connected to it. And then it finishes 7-0. That's what I do. Okay? It's not just about calling who's going to win a money line game, which any average person can do, even without a code. Hello, Mia. Mia Mita. How you doing? So I got to see Mia the other week a few times, actually. She was just hanging out in the teacher's office, getting out of class. I saw what you're doing there, Mia Mita. I saw that. Very good. Excellent stuff. It was good when I got to see all the students. It's always, Mia, when I come visit, it's almost like it's I'm one of the Beatles, isn't it? It's like I'm Justin Bieber in his prime. Although I can't stand Justin Bieber. So hope you well. Hope you well. And Divine says hi to you, Mia, all the time. So maybe you can say hi back. I've just finished a book. Okay. I was with my titular. Okay. Justin is iconic. Mia, you're better than that. You're better than that. So listen, this is deep, man. It's really, really, really deep. I told you that between the Astros and the Phillies, they won 193 games in the regular season, 193. The Georgia Guidestones were 19 foot and 3 inches. They just came down like 42 years after they were erected. 193 is that 44th prime. And by the way, the rapper who died. Oh, thank you so much, Maverick X. The rapper who just died. Did you see his name? Did you see his name and how it connects to the moon landing? It is off the charts, guys, how this is being done. Somebody asked me today, Illusion, do you think they actually died? Did they not? I don't know. I think some of them do go out by a code or get taken out. I think others just become different characters. But the point is, we have to go off what they're reporting. So I always talk about Houston and the moon landing. All right. I often talk about that. And this rapper who died at age 28, which by the way is the 7th triangular number, and Philadelphia won 7-0, and this guy died in Houston, and Houston got killed today. It's sometimes hard to guess the riddle and where they're going with it, but they give you clues, but they often, this is the gift of Satan, or one of his many gifts, because he does have gifts in regards to deception, that he can trick you, is the master of deception, the matrix. He tricks us within this matrix. So he'll give you these clues, but it's like, but are you going to go with this one or this one? Because it can go either way. It's like, it's so sneaky. It's almost like a game. Mia, please don't talk about Taylor Swift and calling Taylor Swift an icon. I don't want to say what I really want to say because it might upset you. Taylor Swift, okay, I'm going to say it, is a demon. All right. So listen, this guy, Takeoff. Surely that's connected to the so-called moon landing. Houston, we have a problem. This rapper was called Takeoff. Yes, Takeoff, Mia, not shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Is that Taylor Swift or is that another annoying singer? So this Takeoff was born 18/6, 1994, but 18/6, and coronavirus was declared a global pandemic exactly 18 years and 6 months after 9/11. And this Takeoff, best known for his membership in Migos, along with Quavo, his uncle, and Offset, his first cousin once removed, who today is married to fellow rapper Cardi B. I don't want to get started on Cardi B either. If you think that's an actual woman, then there's something wrong with you. So, Houston, we have a problem. Takeoff dies in Houston. Houston, we have a problem is a popular but slightly erroneous quotation from the radio communications between the Apollo 13 astronauts, Jack Swigert, Jim Lovell, and the NASA Mission Control Center, Houston, during the Apollo 13 spaceflight in 1970. All right. What a joke. Apollo 13, Kobe Bryant died at age 41, the 13th prime, with his 13-year-old daughter. It is off the charts. And I told you, guys, that between Houston and the Phillies in the regular season, they got 193 wins. Houston 106, Philadelphia 87. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback for Philadelphia, was born on 87. But when you add up those two numbers, you get 193. And Takeoff died 19 weeks and 3 days after his birthday. And 193 is the 44th prime, and kill equals 44. So can you believe that between them, 193 regular season wins, and then you have this rapper who I'm sure was dog shit, like all rappers are now. He died 19 weeks and 3 days after his birthday. It's scandalous. That's the only way we can describe this now. And I've told you how all these sports are synced up. And in the MLS, you have Houston Dynamos, who, by the way, finished 13th. They finished 13th, connected to Apollo 13, connected to Houston. By the way, I got offered a trial with Houston Dynamos, which is insane, when I was out in California. All right, when I was in Lake Tahoe, I got offered to go out there for a tryout, but I couldn't because of my visa. So that is wild. And Houston Dynamos, guys, in the season, 10.6 draws. Okay? 106 wins for Houston in the regular season. Prince Philip was born on 10-6. But check this out. You've got this Takeoff dying, the guy who was born on 18/6. and Houston Dynamos lost 18 games and drew 6. And this Takeoff guy died in Houston. I'm going different level right now, guys. I really am going different level for us, which is hopefully helping you guys. I've told you, since I don't care so much about who wins the games and I'm really just revealing revelation, it's really taking me to a whole different planet right now. Hey, Adam, great to see you again. I'm at work watching your stream. Much love, man. God bless everyone in the chat. Always follow the light. It will win over darkness. Oh, that is glorious. Oh, Mr. Adam, I was wondering if you can help me with an essay about the elections voting of the US for my English exam. Mia, I will always help you. Okay? I will always help you. You know that. Yes. Yes. Contact me. Let me know how you need the help. I ain't doing it for you, though, but I will help you. I will guide you. I will lead you on the right path. I need to put the air conditioner on. It's boiling. Well, it says my air conditioner's 60. Kobe's last ever game 60, and did the Phillies just become 6-0? I think they did, didn't they, in the playoffs at home? No problem, Mia. Since God is love, how will anyone with hate in their heart enter the kingdom of heaven? And they probably won't. Simple as that. Simple as that. They probably won't. Not everybody's going to. I want to talk about how unfair it is. Well, Mia, the elections are a joke. The presidents and prime ministers are selected. They're not elected. They're selected by a code. I'm sure you can't really say that, but you should be able to say it. Do you think, let me ask you this then, Mia. Personally for you, do you think that, for example, Joe Biden became the Prime Minister of the United States of America because the majority of the US voted for him over Donald Trump? Do you think that's what happens? That's for you to decide. But if you're not going to be controversial, I can help you that way. If you're allowed to be controversial, then there's been plenty of evidence that the electoral vote has been manipulated, and you can back that up. How are we supposed to trust politicians when the whole system is corrupt? And that was proven back in X, Y, and Z by X, Y, and Z. All right. Well, Mia, I'll help you, and I won't force my opinion on you, but I'll help you if you want help with the grammar or whatever it may be, the layout of it. Showing love from Detroit, Michigan. I appreciate your content. I appreciate you appreciating my content, Babay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Notice the Eagles can become 8-0 against the Houston Texans, similar to how the Philadelphia Phillies can become 9-0 at home in the playoffs. Yep, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Hi there, Healer at Heart. It's a great name. So, going back to Daniel's 70 weeks, this is why I'm here doing this live with a banging headache, because I just couldn't believe my eyes when it finished 7-0. A few people messaged me saying, have you seen the score? Can you really believe it's going to be 7-0, like 70? I was like, oh, it's going to be 7-0, isn't it? Oh my golly goosh. So again, you've got Daniel's 70 weeks, and I'm gonna read it out a little bit for you again so you understand it. So what are the 70 weeks of Daniel 9? According to 924, 77s have been decreed. The latter of these two terms, here translated sevens, literally means a unit of 7 things, hence a week. Remember, I've told you so often about there's 7 days in a week, there's 7 deadly sins, there's 7 colors in a rainbow, Snow White and the 7 dwarfs, there's 7 chakras. All right, we can go on all day. The 7 golden candlesticks, the 7 churches. There's so many sevens. It's quite breathtaking. And quite often it's connected to completion, although I believe 9 is the ultimate number of completion because it's the last single digit number. But there's so many connections with 7, the word that rhymes with heaven. So the question, however, is a unit of 7 what? Days, weeks, hours, months, years? Okay. Most commentators of the dispensational school conclude that Gabriel had in mind units of years. Consequently, 70 of these units of 7 years would equal 490 years. All right? But it's often referred to as Daniel's 70 weeks. The period of time in view is one of 490 years. It's deep how it's done and how it works out mathematically. But 490 years, we know the square root of 7 of 49 is 7 because it's 7 times 7. Prince Philip died on 4-9. And I've told you the upcoming NBA season of the regular season ends on 4-9. It's funny on my Instagram, which I hardly ever go on, the Illusion one, if you want to check it out. I don't really post much. I have 227 followers, the 49th prime. Yeah, Detroit Aaron's had Astros since June. Just, they're done, aren't they? Let me just have a quick look at the odds of this now, because it gives it away more often than not. It might not have updated, but if I see what the odds are now for the World Series. See, that's interesting, guys. That's interesting. It might not be over at all now. Astros are down 2-1, but they're still plus 125 to win it. That would be a cause of concern for me if I was betting on this. They're down 2-1, and they're still plus 125. My gut tells me that Astros win the next one, and then Phillies will win the next 2. But I don't know. I'll be shocked if it's not 4-2. I'll be shocked if it's not 4-2 to either one of them. Eagles win Thursday. Home teams become 79 41st prime. Yeah, I've got them, but there's next to no value, unfortunately. And Kobe, born in Philadelphia, and he began his NBA career wearing the number 8 jersey. Eagles to go 8-0. And then it gets difficult. Did they go 8-1 for Kobe? Kobe being Bryant, 81 highest scoring game, 81 points, or did they let them go 9-0? Okay, that 9, the number of completion, and then have it end there, and then become 9-1, the 13th triangular number. It'll be tough. We'll see who they're playing, but yeah, they'll do the Texans, it seems, unless they're going to drop them 7-1 for coronavirus being declared on the 71st day of the year. I can't see it. I can't see it. Yeah, that takeoff guy dying, I don't honestly know who it benefits. I've said this before to people, that when there's a major death connected to a state or a city or a franchise, doesn't necessarily mean that's going to benefit that franchise. It goes half and half, I've noticed. So people go, Astros have sacrificed this rapper to win the World Series. That's not how it works. Clearly isn't how it works if you've been doing this a while. It's hit and miss. Their death or the character's death will definitely reveal interesting numbers that could help you determine who's going to win. But it doesn't always mean that this person died in this state, so they're being sacrificed for this team to win. That's not how it works. Just a little heads up for you. I know that for a fact through coding. I know that for a fact. So the question is, though, guys, with this 70 weeks of Daniel, like, when does it begin? All right. According to 925, the 70 weeks, or the 490-year period, begin with the issuing of a decree to restore and rebuild Jerusalem. So we have to keep an eye on what's going to go on in Jerusalem. Let's keep an eye on it. The media will keep it quiet, I think. But we have to keep an eye on Jerusalem. Any clues that they're giving us? It's got Salem in it, connected to magic. It's got USA in its name, Jerusalem. Do you believe there can be a Game 7? Of course. Of course, nothing is a shock anymore. There could be. Yeah, absolutely. They might drag it out. If it is all about the 7, it could go to Game 7. So I don't know. Is just after each one, I couldn't get a clear pick today. I told you that. I got Game 1 and Game 2 right. I had Phillies and Astros. This one was so tough, to be honest with you. It was tough. If I would have had to have picked today, which I wouldn't have bet, not a chance, I probably would have edged the Astros because of the connection with that guy dying. But this was a stay away game. And what I'll say to you now, well, you can't really, actually. I said that I think Phillies are going to win the World Series. And I also said way back at the beginning of the season that Astros would get there, but I thought they'd play the Mets. So I got one of the teams right to get there. But it's very interesting that the Astros are plus 125 and they're down 2-1. I think that indicates that they're winning Game 4. Nice hat, thank you. So this is interesting. It's interesting what's going on in this world right now. It's hard to comprehend. Do you guys feel that we're living in a movie right now? Does it almost feel like a movie, guys? Are you having these moments now? It's like I can't really distinguish the difference between a movie and real life. It's like all in one, all blurred into one. And I don't know if it's amazing or fun or whatever or wild. Like, I'm not scared by anything, but it's starting to feel like that. The things that we've grown up watching that we always felt were fictional or exaggerated, it's like they're coming alive now. So when this zombie apocalypse occurs, which they're pushing, the CDC, I had to teach students about this. One of the reasons why I quit. That would you really be shocked to wake up tomorrow and see thousands of zombies walking the streets? Would that really shock you now? And I'm not being funny. I'm not playing with you. I'm trying to make you giggle. Woo, Sideman. Would you be shocked if you woke up tomorrow and saw zombies? You wouldn't. Would you be shocked if aliens appeared? You wouldn't. I won't. I can't. I don't feel like I can be shocked by anything at the moment. I just really don't. Yeah, it's artificial and fractured. My dreams have been really vivid. Yeah, I've been having some strange dreams. Buffalo plane crash flight 3407 2/12/2009 synced to most of these sporting events. They literally crashed it because the woman who spearheaded the 9/11 investigation committee was killed, connected to George Bush. Great stuff. Adam, did you ever watch the SpongeBob movie? No. SpongeBob! And I'll never watch it. No offense. I ain't watching SpongeBob. All right, with his stupid skinny legs and his square body and his annoying voice. All right, and his silly little pineapple under the sea, wherever he lives. He does my head in, SpongeBob. Patrick does my nut in. Told you the only show that I really watch, and that still makes me giggle, even though I know it's controversial, is Family Guy. I can sit down and watch that and laugh. And it doesn't annoy me. I can see some of what they're trying to do and what they push. The only thing that's really annoyed me about Family Guy is that they really do make fun out of God sometimes. They make God out to be this like hip, cool guy. And that can frustrate me, but it's the only show that I watch. And I watch it free on YouTube. There's a scene where they have a king and everyone is mind controlled by cell towers like zombies. There you go. That's where we're going. Have you not noticed where you live, guys, how many towers are getting put up? I can't really talk about this. I know YouTube are sensitive. They're everywhere. When I was in England, they were everywhere. All right? Towers all over the show. And people just not even noticing them. because they're so wrapped up in what's been going on over the last 2 years. There's a tower over there. So what? I don't care. Well, what do you think it is? Well, who cares? I don't care. I'm going to a concert tonight. I'm going to go watch Liverpool. All right. See Mo Salah open the score in number 11 on the first day of the 11th month. That guy's a joke, to be honest with you. But people like Mo Salah, they're going to be begging for forgiveness when Judgment Day comes. Begging. They're going to be like so shocked, frightened, scared when this all plays out. 5,009 days span to Thursday night football game, 761st prime. The Browns coach was 176 day to birth span last night. Yeah, that's wild, mate. I had the Browns. Guys. Life is spiritual. Spiritual warfare is constant. Life entails spiritual warfare. I completely agree. I say that all the time. We are living every movie at the same time. That's an amazing insight. So Sidemen agrees with he loves Family Guy, but they do mock God hard. It's the only thing that irritates me about that show. Because I used to say with Family Guy, at least they call out everything. Like they're controversial about everything. But the stuff with God, it hits me, which is a good sign. It's a good sign that it hits me, that it bothers me. I was thinking this today, the fact that I was so animated about Halloween shows me my spiritual growth. Because I used to like Halloween. I was never that bothered about it, but I'd dress up, I'd give out candy, or when I was younger, you'd go and try and get it. I thought it was innocent enough, but you saw the way I talked about Halloween. It agitated me. I think it's demonic, and it's just spiritual growth on my end, that is, to be honest with you. My mate Nathan, my best friend. Hello, Darrell, baby. Hey, don't be casting a spell on me, okay? So Darrell likes to study magic, it seems. And literally, he was telling me about it. I was like, be careful, don't play with magic. And then right afterwards, I got a pounding headache. So I'm thinking that Darrell put a spell on me and gave me a headache for calling him out. Is that true, Darrell? All right, Darrell's my number one fan, but I don't know. I feel like he may have put a spell on me. I put a spell on you, 'cause you're mine. Did you post on your site about what you predict would happen in Qatar? I'll do it all tomorrow. I've subtly hinted what's going to happen. I've done a post, not a real detailed one, but I've done a post. Everyone on my website knows what I think is going to happen. I haven't gone into super duper detail. And I've decided this now at this point. You've got to learn, haven't you? That the prediction that I have made, I ain't going to predict the exact day. I'm just going to say it's going to occur during that World Cup. All right? Or either right before it or right after it. I ain't going to say it's going to be this date in this game. I ain't doing that. Because if there is the thing that I think is going to happen, people will go, yeah, pretty good call, Illusion, but you did say it were going to happen 2 days before. So you're quite off, aren't you? Okay. That's how you want to play it, baby. I ain't playing those games with you. So I'll be keeping an eye on that World Cup. Not as a fan of professional football. Okay? Not because I care about who wins to win money. I will be witnessing revelation play out. And I'll be there every step of the way for you guys. Every step of the way. Everything I see, I will share. That's if the World Cup even goes ahead. Let's see. I think it will, but we'll see. Imagine it doesn't, and that means the last World Cup finished 4-2, the final for the Beast, reigning for 42 months. Hello, Faisy, how you doing? I feel you're just curious. Yeah. Willie. It's funny, Willie. So when I was younger, I'd call my penis Willie. So Willie, get on the website, lad. Go on, son. Support the community. Okay. What I'm doing is looking to raise $500,000 in the next week so I can buy some land for 10 lucky people to live on. So if you can support the community, I'm doing great work, guys. I'd really appreciate it, okay? Serious question. Has your journey at times made you depressed or lonely? Just curious. It's hard to go about sometimes knowing it's all a facade. Yes. I think I've discussed this multiple times. The beginning of my journey, I guess the beginning of the journey is when you're born, but the beginning of my spiritual awakening, or where I started questioning my reality back in 2020 for, was it a couple of weeks? I was depressed. Oh, thank you, Donny boy. You would protect me. I'd do a protection spell. I appreciate that. I know there's good and bad magic. I just don't think you should play with it. But it's weird because my nickname used to be Edda's Magicians when I played Fantasy Premier League. Again, it's called fantasy football because it is all fantasy. It's Satan behind it all. So yeah, for about 2 weeks, I was depressed, and that's not who I am. It's never been who I am. But I started to think that we were doomed, that there was a certain group of families that were controlling everything, and there's nothing we could do about it, and they wanted to kill everybody. And I started then, pro sports are corrupt, the thing that I loved. Politics didn't hurt me because I knew in my soul anyway before that I'd never cared about it. I knew it was corrupt as a youngster. But when I really started studying like the monetary system and private prisons, how the billion-dollar industries and like the healthcare and how all that works, it's just so corrupt. And yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, the world is evil. But this was before I believed in God. This was back when I had no belief in Jesus or God. If you tried to talk to me about Jesus or God, I would dismiss it like that. I would tell you, be quiet, stop. I ain't interested, like people sometimes do to me. So I get it. I'm fortunate enough that I get people's frustration. All right. If somebody came up to me 3 years ago and said, the Premier League's a joke, it's all coded and Satan's coding it and the players are all satanic. What are you on about? Yeah, because Luke 10:18 and Fauci and Bill Gates, and it all syncs up with this, and Sir Alex Ferguson's a witch and a wizard. Excuse me? What are you on about? It's just a game of football. I would have done that. I would have dismissed it all. So yeah, for a couple of weeks I was depressed. I got through it. I think there's a certain point where you get to, and you either keep going or you turn around. And I think nearly everybody turns around. They can't get to that next level like I did, because you've got to go through a lot of shit. All right. It's almost like rehab. You have to go through rehab to get clean. All right. Most people don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. So yeah, it's normal to feel a little bit down and lonely and fed up. That's why I've got my community. I have YouTube. I go on dates. I've got my friends. Thankfully, I'm very comfortable in my own company. I'm always learning. I can't just sit still. Don't know if that's a gift or a curse at times, because I am always stimulated. That's maybe why I struggle to sleep, because I've got all this energy flowing through my veins. Okay? I really do. I'm live now. I really do. You would not have an idea that my head is pounding. It's like somebody's hitting my head, and I'm still doing this. My eyes are like, I can hardly see. My phone won't stop going off as well. Guys, my phone won't stop going off. And much love to you if you text me and you send me audios and videos and emails. I really appreciate each and every one of you. But at times it can be overwhelming. I wake up to about 70, 80 WhatsApp messages, similar with emails, and you respond, don't you? It's not like a one-off response, because I'm very patient and I love everybody who texts me. Everyone who texts me I care about. but then you're texting them, they're texting you back, whilst Jimmy's texting you back and Lisa's texting you, and then you've got a couple of girls on the go, then your mum's texting you, and then there's someone from your website texting you, and then there's the bank trying to call you, and then there's somebody, the parent of the kid that you're coaching is texting you, and then the girl who wants an English class is texting you, and it's just, whoa, woo! That's why I have to jump in that pool every day and go for a swim. That's why sometimes I have to just unwind at the beach like I'm doing tomorrow. Sometimes I have to crack open a cold one. Sometimes I have to, hey, judge me. I don't care. The only person I care who judges me is Jesus. I don't care if any man or woman judges me. I know who I am. I know what I believe in. And I'll do what I want. That's what I want. Woo! Oh. Ooh. I hurt my head. It's 4:13 a.m. Wow. 4:13. That's when Kobe Bryant retired. April the 13th. It's funny how he retired 4:13 and 4 times 13 is 52. And he won 5 NBA championships and lost 2. Can you see how deep this is? His whole career was coded. God bless you, Kobe. I think if it wasn't for your death, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. Remember, guys, I lived in Los Angeles. Remember, I used to go watch the Lakers, and I loved Kobe. By the way, I've still got a LA Lakers jersey with Steve Nash on the back, number 10. Let me go find it. I've got that somewhere. And he just got fired today in a big ritual. The guy who was born on 2/7, Tom Brady, won the Super Bowl on his birthday. All right, because it's all connected. I've played footy with Nash as well. He's a very, very talented footballer. I'll give him it. So, can you believe this, guys? That I've maybe talked about number 10 more than any number on my journey. And before I had this awakening, I get a Lakers jersey because I lived in LA. I didn't want to get Kobe Bryant on the back because every Muppet had Bryant 24 on the back. And I used to like to want to stand out. So I was a bit of an attention seeker. So I got number 10, all right, with your boy Nash on the back. And then later in my life, I end up meeting him. So I get number 10, Nash. What? I don't know why I've kept that. I think I've wore it once in my life. And I probably should give it away. And those NBA jerseys, guys, they're about $100. What a joke. Oh, I'm getting tired, man. What a joke. The amount of money we spend on merchandise is off the charts, guys. I used to spend more $80 on a Man United shirt. $80 for a shirt that probably costs $1 to make. May God bless you too, Philip. What is true? We don't know. I think the only truth is Jesus. But again, it's hard to describe what truth is. What's Storm Chaser saying? Has he got a code going? Storm Chaser. Storm Chaser, can you leave the code again? No, I can't remember. I just know Steve Nash, fantastic footballer. He was a good guy, a bit strange looking in his face. Very competitive. The sad thing is, I don't know if it's sad or good or what, or if it's just when they're on the court, they become possessed. I don't know. I told you my next door neighbor in LA was Blake Griffin. Blake freaking Griffin in his prime when he was at the Clippers with CP3 was my neighbor. And he seemed like the sweetest guy ever. I know that the actors, he literally is an actor. He's been in Hollywood movies. But he was only ever good to me. When I met Beckham, he gave off this really positive vibe and energy with me. Like I've known him for years. So it's strange. It's really strange. Like, I often question how much they know. All right. I don't know if they're all completely aware of what they're doing and how much they're manipulating us. I don't know if they're even completely aware about their actual gender if it went on when there was a baby. I don't know any of this, but from my personal experience of meeting celebrities properly and speaking with them, not just seeing them, like speaking with them. I shot baskets with Blake Griffin. He bought me a Subway. He was really quiet. He was really reserved. Pretty much laughed at everything I said because I'm hilarious. And I can't say a bad word about him. Why would he even shoot baskets with a regular guy? Did he know I was the illusion that was going to be coming? I don't know. I will say he was massive. He was huge, man. His legs were a joke. I would say one of his legs was like 19 of one of my legs. I didn't know Agent D back in the day. I wouldn't have noticed symbolism. I wouldn't have noticed if he was putting up a diamond or devil horns. I don't know, but I just know Blake is a big deal, or was a really big deal in the NBA. Not so much now. He's got a bit older and he can't hop as much as he used to. He was known for like dunking. CP3, throw it up. Blake, he was always on the highlight reel. And I always remember his girlfriend being like tiny, and he had a tiny dog. So he had a thing for small things. But maybe, again, who knows? Maybe Blake was a female. Like, he wanted his little dog, and I don't know. I have Kobe number 10 jersey, USA. I want to give it away. Isn't it funny how Kobe wore number 10 and LeBron wore 6? That's Prince Philip's birthday again. The 10-6. That seems to be really big, the 106. Like not judging people, obviously, but being able to see right through Satan's lies. I've got really good now. I feel like if I met a celebrity now, I can read people's energy. Divine always says that about her and about me. We can read energy. So back then I couldn't. I was in the Matrix. Oh my God, Blake Griffin's my neighbor. Oh my God. Like, I was like, got a photo with him. I don't think I was sad enough to get his autograph, thankfully. With Beckham, I got his autograph on the signed Man United shirt, which I probably should sell. People tell me to burn it, but I might just sell it. People will pay for it, which is, again, really embarrassing. And guys, you know when you get a signed shirt from a celebrity, how do they prove that you haven't just signed it? Anybody know the process behind that? Just out of interest. So I say I've got a signed shirt by Beckham. I've got photos and videos of people watching him sign it. But couldn't I just get a shirt and just forge a signature? How do they know that's Beckham's? What if Beckham has multiple different signatures like some people have? What if he just was half-assed it? Like, how do they do that when people are selling like signed photo frames of, I don't know, Freddie Mercury from back in the 80s or 70s? It's interesting to me. We are also called to make disciples and do the Great Commission. I need to learn how to handle preaching the law and gospel to people myself. The fact that you want to learn it means you're on the right track, mate. Can you read people's energies only personally, or can you read our energy right now? I think personally, when it comes to the English language, you get an idea of people's energy. All right? If somebody's putting ha, 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 they're probably high on energy whilst they're doing that. All right? If they're sending you an emoji face with tears, all right, saying I'm so down, you can probably feel that negative energy just through reading the comment. But for me now, it's difficult because most of you guys are just coming at me with codes and interesting comments. I'm guessing your energy is probably kind of high because here's what you should ask yourself. Can you feel my energy? Can you feel my energy through the screen when I go live? Can you absorb it? I bet you can, or you won't be here. Okay? Like Divine says, energy can be exchanged. It doesn't disappear. It can be exchanged, or it can move from one place to another. It never goes. It never disappears. So, great Halloween video, Adam. Excellent. Thank you very much. Been getting a lot of good comments about that because there was next to no gematria involved. I told myself a while back that I don't want to be Mr. Gematria. I want to just have so much knowledge of a range of topics and just share my beliefs with other people. And I don't mind people questioning my beliefs. But when people appreciate what I do, it's great, isn't it? It's nice. I don't go searching for approval. I just speak my mind, don't I? And go off on one more often than not. So they always seem decent, innocent in public, but as soon as they're on TV, they're all part of the script again. The question is, Agent D, are they fully aware of it? I think they are put under spells. You see them. You see all the time, like these NBA players just glitching. All right? And you say they're cloned. I don't think they're being cloned. I think they're being controlled by supernatural entities. Again, if you watch Space Jam, I always bring it up. My throat's going now. I'm going to have to go soon. I only wanted to point out this 7-0 with the 70 I said earlier. But if you watch Space Jam, you've got your Niles Barkley and players like that. They're playing in the NBA. And then these demons come through their nostrils. Okay. And then the NBA players start all glitching like that. And I've seen so many NBA players doing that when I was gambling every day on the NBA and calling out so many games correctly in the NBA. I'll start coding that NBA again once this bullshit World Series is over for you. But it's not a shock that Nash gets fired and the day gets fired. The Brooklyn Nets, Brooklyn's in New York, get 99 points, which is 9 times 11. And where was 9-11? It was New York. And they lost to the Bulls. See what the Bulls are now? Do you see how the Bulls are 4-4? Come on, guys, man. Just like Philly, we're 4-4. Bengals just dropped to 4-4. And I know what people's argument's going to be. Well, what are you going to say about a team that's 3-5? Is that Satan? Well, maybe. Satan equals 35. So I do believe there's always going to be somebody who will go against what I'm saying. And that's fine. It's completely understandable. It's completely understandable. I think that's key in doing what we do, guys, is to kind of look at it from different perspectives and also go back to before you were awake and how you would feel if somebody was throwing all of this at you, okay? And you were completely trapped in the matrix. Think about how you'd react. I've asked myself that question. I've told you in this live. I would dismiss it. I'd probably get angry. I'd probably laugh at the same time, probably laugh before I get angry because there's the 3 stages of truth. Isn't there? You mock the truth, then the truth gets you angry, and then you finally accept it. Most people don't get past the first part of, ha, 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 you are a shill. Ha, 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 you got that wrong. Ha, 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 you have no idea what you're talking about. Well, do you want to watch my Donald Trump and Rishi Sunak video? The fact that Sunak was born 33 years, 333 days after Donald Trump, and there's 33 days between the birthdays. Okay? I think that's just wild. And the fact that Donald Trump's 76 and Sunak's 42 and 7 times 6 is 42. Okay? And the beast reigns for 42 months. You're going to say that's just wild coincidences? You can say it and be in for the shock of your life next year. So next year is 2023. Somebody asking if it would go to a game 7, and obviously 20 plus 23 is 43. Like a game 7 would mean a team wins 4-3. Maybe. Part of me wants that. If it's 4-2 to Philly, like you may as well just call it a day now. It's revelation, baby. Okay? If it's going to be 4-2. I'm really intrigued. And did you see that Philadelphia were up 4 in the 4th inning? Come on. And then they were up 4, but they won 7-0, and 7's the 4th prime. And I've told you the Declaration of Independence was signed on 7-4 in Philadelphia. 56 people signed it. Notice Houston lost game 1, 5-6. Come on. 11 runs, and Philly get to the playoffs for the first time in 11 years. The Queen connected to Philadelphia, whose funeral was 11 days after she died at 11 a.m. What's your opinion on Mag Bit of Truth? His recent channel got deleted recently. This is interesting why I keep getting asked about Mag. Because I really liked Mag. He was my favorite YouTuber. He made me laugh. I thought he revealed a lot. And quite often I would learn from his videos. Now I watch his stuff. I don't know what it is. It happens to me. It's like I used to like Zach Hubbard at the beginning of my journey when I didn't understand anything. I liked him, and then I can't bear him anymore. But when it comes to Mag, there's a few things where I'm like, iffy with him. And it used to make me laugh. The things that I'm iffy with used to make me laugh. So he'd go like, bam! I never miss, bam! Like, yeah, you do miss many times. So, like, claiming you know it all is a problem for me now. I think if you're really genuine, you accept that you don't know it all. You don't know hardly anything. All right. The better I get, I'm like, oh my word, there's so much more to learn. Like, I realized that to see where I've gone from 2020 to 2022. Back in 2021, I thought I was a genius. Before my awakening, I thought I was a smart ass. I didn't know shit. So what I'll say about Mag, I feel like his content now has just become repetitive for me. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I loved his little catchphrases. I loved how he would really call stuff out and be controversial, and I like that. Now I watch his stuff, it's like the same 5 or 6 catchphrases, and the guy doesn't seem to learn. His channel gets taken down all the time because he's constantly copywriting videos or movies or interviews. And if he never misses and he's never wrong, then surely he would learn that. But would I keep watching his stuff? Every now and again. But I loved Mag. Bit over the top saying I loved him. He was my favorite YouTuber. Now it's just I'm not that bothered about watching his stuff like I used to. Your content has helped me a lot since I found the Lord Jesus Christ is my number one priority. But I also think it's important to know the enemy is real as well, and to know his agenda so we can be prepared. Yeah. Haven't you heard the saying, respect your enemy, or be aware of your enemy's strengths? You can't dismiss the power of Satan. You can't. Lucifer was God's number one angel. Lucifer, for me, cast out of heaven and then became the devil. So it doesn't mean you have to fear. Again, have you heard the expression of you can respect your opponent, but it doesn't mean you have to fear them? That's how I am with Satan. I can respect what he's done to humanity in the sense of how he's deceived the majority of the world. Okay, how cunning he is, how sly he is, how intelligent he is. Okay, there's no doubt about it, how creative he is. And he has a lot of power, but I believe in my soul that he's lost, he's a coward, and I ain't afraid of him. And that's because I have such faith in Jesus Christ, who I know has already, he's won. He's won it for us, for the believers. I think all we have to do at this point is accept that. So, yeah, I agree that you have to somewhat respect the enemy or be aware of the enemy or acknowledge the so-called power the enemy has and the influence that the enemy has and the control. But fearing it, not a chance. Line of Judah YouTube channel is sound Bible teaching if anyone wants verses and prayers. Yeah, I really like that. I share his stuff. Do you still drink beer? Yes, occasionally. I've told you, I've told you that we ain't perfect. I ain't going to preach that I'm a perfect guy. I'll occasionally have a few beers. All right? Don't hurt anyone with it. I don't get drunk. Or maybe once a month. So yeah, I occasionally have a few beers. I'm not the guy who's going to be like, claim to be CM Punk. Okay? I'll have a couple of beers. I don't smoke. I've never done drugs. I'll have a few beers, but I'm not straight edge. I'm so annoyed by how Islam tricked me for a while. How can your God be called the great deceiver if lying is a sin? Exactly. I don't want to get too deep into that, but there you go. I had another Muslim message me today saying something very similar. All right. These people do not want you to believe in Jesus. They'll let you believe in anything else. They'll let you believe in anything else, any other religion, whatever it may be. They don't want you believing in Jesus. They don't want you talking about Jesus. They don't want you preaching Jesus. They don't want you to give yourself to Jesus, have faith in him. It's the thing they fear the most. They're scared of Jesus and Jesus' power. Because on this realm, they can have whatever they want, these Satanists who are working for Satan, because this is his realm. He's been given permission to control it. So they can do whatever they want. But deep down, they have that innate fear of Jesus and light and love and truth. So I try and share it. I'll try and share it. I don't think that Mag's been whacked, killed, and all of this. He'll be back soon doing another video. Okay? We can't just start spreading these rumors that people are getting killed for speaking the truth. All right? He'll be back. His channel's gone down because the stuff that he talks about is so controversial, and the way he presents it is so controversial that it's pretty blatant that YouTube's going to remove his stuff. I can't believe he hasn't learned from that. Adam, do you think the Antichrist will be human or AI laboratory creation? What even is a human? What even is a human? No, it might be somewhat of a demon inside a human vessel, like a lot of these demons are. They go inside a human vessel. But what exactly is Antichrist? All right? Is Antichrist just anybody who's against Christ? Is the Antichrist a false Christ? Is it Antichrist a disbeliever in Christ? What exactly is Antichrist? Is it one entity? Is it multiple entities? All right. I know that historically, they say the Antichrist is actually of Jewish origin. But I think soon enough we'll find out. Soon enough we'll find out. I don't think it's your Obama or your Prince William, okay, or your Donald Trump. I don't think it's any of them. But the Antichrist, guys, refers to people prophesied by the Bible to oppose Jesus Christ and substitute themselves in Christ's place before the second coming. So for me, the Antichrist is everything that's going on now. All right. I don't even necessarily know if the Antichrist is one entity. It's those who are playing the role of God on earth. All right. Your Klaus Schwab could be the Antichrist. Biden, Antichrist. Boris Johnson, Antichrist. Tom Brady, Giselle, Antichrist. Ronaldo, Messi, Antichrist. All these people who are Antichrist. All right? I know the term Antichrist is found, I think, 5 times in the New Testament. So that's where I'm leaning. I'm not necessarily sure the Antichrist is one entity. We've been talking about end times for thousands of years. I think they're on the way. All right? If you think about the end times, guys, sorry, I'm getting tired here. Somebody give me a hell yeah, or give me like a 99-cent tip. I feel like I'm going to fall asleep and I'm going to go deep. Wait a second. I might need some water. I feel like I'm not even doing this. I feel like I'm sleeping right now. 1 hour and 10 minutes in, like the World Trade Center had 110 floors. Give me a second. Let me swig this water. All right. Let me keep going. All right. Let me keep going. Wait, I'm going to go put some water on my face. Woo! Come on, Adam. Push on. Wow. Oh. My goodness. I'll keep going for you. Wow, guys. You know, when I'm getting tested, I just think I've got to push on because I'm going to get tested worse than this. So here we go. Let me break this down for you. So somebody's saying here, young Newton, yeah, they are the most influential people pushing all agendas that are against his teachings. Yeah, I agree with that. It's exactly what I think it is. So, in the history of the West over the last, 2,000 years, there's never been a time when someone hasn't predicted the end of the world, in my opinion. There's always somebody raving on about the end of the world. And I remember when people would say it when I was younger. I'd see it on the news. I'd watch it like on The Simpsons and just like laugh it off. What do you mean end of the world? The world's never going to end. But if you think about now, if you study the book of Revelation, we've got climate change. Whatever you want to say about climate change, there's been all of these natural disasters all over the world. All right, strange weather all over the world. It hasn't made sense. So we've got all this climate crisis, pandemic surges, you've got savage wildfires, you've got hurricanes, all the talk about nuclear arms, all right, all going on right now, famine. And it's almost like it is playing out and we can't handle it. So during these times, we should be on the lookout for the Antichrist, which again, I don't think is one entity. And the Antichrist, which could be going on now, appears right before the second coming of Christ. I think just think of the evil now, guys, the genuine evil of your Faucis and your Bill Gates and your Obamas, like your Rothschilds, your Rockefellers, the royal family, like Elizabeth dying and Prince Philip dying. It may be a really good sign, guys. All right, that this evil, that their reign is coming to an end. It's coming to an end. It's why people like me are able to see that and have this faith in Jesus, because their empire is collapsing. Okay? So the Antichrist, questionably, is the Antichrist technically the son of Satan? All right? The Antichrist was the perfectly evil human being because he was completely opposite to the perfectly good human being, Jesus Christ. So again, it's hard to decide if the Antichrist is one person or multiple people, or if this whole Antichrist is the fact that the majority of the world, it seems now, are Antichrist and atheists, or they believe in some other bullshit religion that Satan came up with. So is there the possibility that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and the Antichrist is the son of Satan? That would be interesting. Jesus was, of course, born a virgin. So maybe the Antichrist was born of a woman who was apparently a virgin, but was really a whore, which connects to the whore of Babylon, which is the Vatican. And if you look at the way the Vatican's designed, it basically looks like a serpent giving birth. All right. So is Satan somehow giving birth? Remember, the Baphomet has both genitalia, to the Antichrist. Is the Vatican all about giving birth to the Antichrist? Look at the design of it and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? You'll know exactly where I'm going with this. So maybe Christ was God in the flesh and the Antichrist is Satan in the flesh. I don't know. The end of the world is on its way, in my opinion, and I ain't afraid of it. I ain't. So, I don't know. The book of Revelations it changed my life. The book of Revelation describes a singular figure as the beast from the earth and the beast from the sea. Remember, the beast number is 666, but that's also the number of man. And I think this Antichrist, again, depending on what you define the Antichrist as, is a tyrant, a trickster, a manipulator, a deceiver. And that's your people at the top of politics right now. They're tyrants, which showed you with what they were able to do with these scandalous and disgraceful and inhumane lockdowns that we accepted as a culture. Yeah, there are many Antichrist, Devil's Playground, it seems. But I've read a lot that the Antichrist, if it's a one-off person, would be Jewish and from the tribe of Dan and born in Babylon, like I said, to a whore. And the Vatican's the whore of Babylon. And this Antichrist would have been brought up in all forms of wickedness. Remember, guys, this is a spiritual war. And the sooner we realize that for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. I'll say that again. If the Antichrist is multiple people and it's just those who are truly against Christ, hate Christ, not non-believers, hate Christ, then that could be these authorities, these rulers. Okay? For our strength is not against flesh and blood. That's why we can't be looking at people like Trump and Bill Gates and Biden as flesh and blood. They're not. It's against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of the dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. That's who we're up against right now. This is a spiritual war. Spiritual war, yes. The Antichrist will be cunning. All right? So, would have been brought up in all forms of wickedness, likely by magicians and wizards and warlocks. He would be accepted as the Messiah and ruler by the Jews in Jerusalem. And basically, those Christians or true believers whom he could not convert to his cause, he's going to torture and kill them. That's what he's going to look to do. If you don't fall for his game or play along with him, he's going to look to torture and kill you. And when you're like somebody like me and you realize that the spirit never dies, all right, I don't fear that. If this Antichrist is going to try and torture me because I'm a believer or I speak the word of the Lord, let him take me out. I couldn't think of a better way to go. I could not think of a better way to go. So the Antichrist, guys, is on his way. But then Jesus will follow. Okay? And there is talk of the Antichrist ruling for 7 years before being defeated by the angel Gabriel or Christ and the divine armies prior to the resurrection of the dead and the final judgment. So again, if the Antichrist takes you out, this is very important now, in my opinion. And you can choose not to believe me or call me crazy, whatever you want. I really honestly don't care. I think what's going to happen, the Antichrist is going to come and he is going to torture and kill the believers of Christ. Look what they did to Jesus. Look what they did to Jesus whilst he was here in the flesh. They'll do it, but at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, when this is over, when his reign ends, okay, when his reign's over, there will be a resurrection of the dead and the final judgment. And when that does happen and Jesus sees that I went out or you went out with faith in him, all right, and it was all a test, then you will be rewarded. Please watch that movie I was telling you about. And I know I don't watch movies or promote movies or the mainstream media, but this was divine, me watching this movie with Betsy. Silent Night. It's all about the world ending and about pretty much how everybody didn't have faith and they took the easy way out. And the one kid, this is going to stick with me forever. If I ever have doubts, I'll think about that kid. That one kid wasn't having any of it. And he had faith. He didn't get manipulated or deceived or talked into taking the easy way out. And he survived. He pretty much came back from the dead. If you've watched the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's called Silent Night. Like the Christmas song. Silent Night, Holy Night. And I'm going to start studying these songs. I'm going to start looking now. I can't believe I'm still going live with this lack of energy. So I'm going to look at the lyrics for Silent Night. It's very simple, isn't it? And not the Mariah Carey version, hopefully, or Frank Sinatra, these devil worshippers. Right, I keep telling you how Donald Trump is saying it's the calm before the storm. This right now is the calm. Yeah, it's a new movie. It's on Netflix. I don't have Netflix, but it's like I had to watch this movie. She asked me to come round and she said, you're going to want to watch this. She knew that it was going to resonate with me. So I told you, me and Betsy, I still like that. If it wasn't for all the wild stuff that was going on. And you know what she said to me? She said, what would you do if it was the end of the world? Where would you want to be? And I said, with you. And she went, oh, Adam. And I mean that. So it's so strange with my situation. I have this big calling, this massive, monstrous calling to basically reveal deception and hopefully guide people to Jesus. And I gave up everything for it. And I didn't want to give it up, but I knew in my soul I had to. And I think she knows in her soul that I had to. She knows that. That's why our connection is still so phenomenal, despite the fact that I left. It's almost like she knew I had to go, but maybe not the beginning. Guys, sometimes when I'm getting deep, with stuff like that, I lose my breath. It's interesting. So silent, I'm not going to sing it. You know, I usually like to sing. Oh, no, you know what? I'm going to sing it, but I'm not going to sing it all. Nothing really stands out here. A little bit, yeah. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round your virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. So it mentions as well, like, Christ the Savior is born. And if you notice now, there's a lot of athletes and celebrities are doing this. They go to sleep. Steph Curry, CM Punk, who literally his finishing move is GTS, go to sleep. They're doing this. And that could be connected to death. All right. Who knows? It could be connected to Jesus. It could be connected to the Antichrist. And I'm going to do a video, guys, about Ronaldo's celebration. All right. And how his celebration is basically this, which is basically the Antichrist. Okay. If you know this now, Ronaldo is doing this weird ass celebration, is doing all these death celebrations. Load of them doing that. Go to sleep and smiling when they're doing it. It's these players, whether they're aware of it or not, they're possessed by demons right now. This really is Satan's time. Hello, Joseph, baby. Thank you. Joseph, can I ask you? Yeah, it's a Christmas movie. Hello, NR. How you doing, mate? Is Usman Dembele's celebration that as well? Joseph, did you promote me in one of your videos? If you did, I appreciate you, because I feel like today I've gained like 30 new subscribers. I don't know what I did or who's promoted me. I'm guessing it's you. Did you say something nice about me in your live stream? Because I watched it for about 10 minutes and it was great. I had to go coach. Did you give me a shout out or something? Ah, Joseph, there you go. That's where I got like 30 new people. I appreciate you, brother. I'll give you another one now. Guys, I know you probably already done it, but please sub to Joseph Aquaviva 2222. You showed them my channel live. You're a good guy, mate. Yeah, Ronaldo's son died last year, who was a twin. Right after he got that hat trick and he put the ball up his stomach. The twin symbolism connects to the Twin Towers. George Floyd, who died in the Twin City. I've read somewhere Jesus had a twin called Thomas. Just to let you know, this might not mean anything, but Philadelphia's, they got 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second. So on the scoreboard, it says 2-2. I don't know if that's already telling you the series is going to go 2-2. But if you look at the scoreboard, it says 2-2. It's got 2 in the first, 2 in the second. I don't know. Wow. Jesus is coming soon, brother. Brazil do have a good riddle. If it is Brazil, it's connected to Jesus, the Redeemer statue. It is. So, Joseph, I know you think that the Antichrist is Obama. Are you open to the possibility that the Antichrist is multiple people? It's just the rulers and the authorities and the wickedness of this world? Or do you believe it is one person? I don't believe it's one person. It could be the Pope. Like, it might not necessarily be a tyrant outside of the church. It might be a deceiver within it. I've said Pope Francis is the false prophet. Does that make him the Antichrist? I think he's a false prophet. We know that Satan was always going to infiltrate the church. The Pope, he may obviously be the Antichrist. He may be. And yet not just that solo single individual, but rather the multitude of popes holding that position. And then when you take into account the cardinals and the bishops of the church, what if the whole Catholic Church, what if the Vatican is the Antichrist? What if the Vatican's the Antichrist? That military complex that nobody's allowed to go near. Or the certain parts of it anyway. Okay, I got goosebumps. I'm reading Daniel 2, 44, 45. Obviously, 44 is connected to death. While I read it, the Holy Spirit is speaking to me. Oh my goodness. I've just got goosebumps. Oh my goodness. What's this going to say? What's this going to say? Okay. I'm going to read it. Daniel 2, 44, 45. In the time of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, nor will it be left to another people. It will crush all those kingdoms and bring them to an end, but it will itself endure forever. This is the meaning of the vision of the rock cut out of a mountain, but not by human hands. A rock that broke the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold to pieces. The great God has shown the king what will take place in the future. The dream is true, and its interpretation is trustworthy. Oh, my word. This right now, again, why do you think it's called the United Kingdom? And we've just had the Queen die, all connected to the crown. Revelation 3:11 is all about don't let anybody take your crown from you. Revelation 9:11 is all about the king, basically the evil king. But that's why I'm saying the UK is going to get killed. The United Kingdom is going to get destroyed. All right? Because it's biblical why it's going to get destroyed. And Jesus is going to come back and crush all these kingdoms and destroy this world that is so full of sin. And he's going to create a new one. And only a certain amount of us are going to be living within it. Not everybody's going to live within that new kingdom. You better get that in your head, in my opinion. It's not just going to be one of these where this one gets destroyed and then we all go live happily ever in God's newfound kingdom, which will never be destroyed and man will never control it. Okay? Hi, Illusion, what's your Patreon? I tried to search it up a couple of weeks ago, but it said disabled or something. It's somewhat beautiful and horrific what happened to my Patreon. I'll give you the story because you obviously don't know it, and I think now's the time to give you it. And you can tell me who you think's behind this. You can tell me if it's God, if it's the devil, if it's man. I'd love your opinion, Harris. First of all, before I give you it, there's the link to my own website that I have, thanks to Gabriel, who set it up. And Gabriel's all connected to Revelation, which is so beautiful if you know this full story. I'll try to break it down for you. So, Harris, I set up a Patreon, and it was very successful. The day it got taken down, I had 303 Patreons. 33 is so connected to Jesus. I believe he died 33 AD. Coronavirus declared a pandemic 11:3. 11 times 3 is 33. Corona means crown. Jesus is the King of Kings. I can rave on all day about 33. I had my awakening at age 33. I was born on 33 date numerology. Too many 33s, guys. I live at number 3 here. My dad lives at number 11 in England. My mum lives at number 7, which is crazy for your 117, for your 77. But I found the book of Revelation so randomly. I didn't go looking for it. Nobody recommended it. I found it like this little library by my apartment, which is not even a library. And there's thousands of books, and the book of Revelation stood out to me. within seconds, and I grabbed it and I just took it. It's like something took over my body. I grabbed it and I took it back to my apartment. I began reading it. I'd never felt such a rush in my life. I did a live stream about Kobe Bryant, Revelation, and coronavirus. May have been the best video I've ever done. And as I was reading out verses from Revelation, I had this moment, which you couldn't see because it wasn't a live stream. You couldn't see what went on. I went like that. And then the day after that, my Patreon got deleted. It got deleted on the 20th of June on 26, which is the God number. God in Gematria is 26. It's the huge number with the Queen, who was born in 1926, became the Queen on February 6, 26, coronated on the 2nd of June, 26, and mother died age 101, the 26th prime. She died 26 days before, was it Charles became king? I can't remember exactly what it was, or 2 months and 6 days before Prince Charles' birthday. And I got my Patreon taken down on 26, 2 months and 6 days after my birthday, which is on 14/4, and the Elizabeth line opened on the 144th day of the year. It's funny how 14 times 4 is 56, and Royal Family gets you 56, and all the other 56s. So Gabrielle, who I'd never met in my life or spoken to, couldn't believe what Patreon did to me. They took $3,000 off me. They didn't pay me for the month. They took all my content and they gave me no warning right after I found the book of Revelation. So I could have woken up that day crying. I could have cried. I could have panicked. I'd just moved into a new apartment, number 3, paying twice the amount of money I was paying in my previous one. Not because I'm big time, it's just the previous one I was living in was like really cheap. And I thought, oh, wow. And I remember sitting down thinking, is this a blessing or a curse? Who's behind this? I was starting to get to the point where I thought, it's not man. It's not the Jesuits or the Freemasons or whatever it is, or it's not a rival who's not liking the fact I'm taking his subs or his Patreons. I thought, this is deep. So instead of me crying about it and giving up, I saw it as a blessing because of the 26s. And then Gabrielle set up my website with me. Guy from Colorado, which has the 303 dialing code, and then my Patreon got removed when I have 303 Patreons. And then my mate came to visit from LA. He lives in Corona, and he was staying in a room 303. His name's Chris. He was in the live earlier. He's coming to visit again in February, maybe before, knowing that guy because he loves it here. So Gabriel, connected to the Archangel Gabriel, helped me set up this website. I spoke to him yesterday. Nothing but love for him. It's a wild story. It's a divine story. If you break down my whole life, the stuff that's happened to me, you couldn't have written it any better. I don't think man could have written my life. In fact, now I'm living in Mexico. Mexico and Gematria is 33. England's 33. Lived in Los Angeles, which is the Angels, for many years. So yeah, I think it's a blessing, Harris. I think you've got to go through adversity to grow. After a hurricane comes a rainbow. And I'll keep doing what I'm doing, mate. So is school programming the youth? Do they pick what to teach in the curriculum? No, they don't. To an extent, certain schools give them options. Okay, it's getting a little bit better, but in general, yeah, they all have to do the math, English, and science, don't they? Maybe they'll have one day a week where maybe they can choose between art or music, history or geography. But yes, the school, the education system, education is indoctrination that destroys imagination. And when you try to use your imagination, you often get called out. If you question the teachers, you get called out. But there are some schools, like the one I was at, for sure they do, on many occasions, give them that option to be creative. But in general, they've got to do the standardized exams. they've got to follow all these rules, haven't they? More often than not, it's comprehension checks that they have to complete, or they're learning math, which is so basic or in many ways unnecessary what they're learning. Nobody's teaching them the connections between letters and numbers the way I'd be able to do, but they never let me in a school. The reality is, if the education system was genuine, not really genuine, they would want me in there to teach them this. All right? They'd want me in there teaching the kids this knowledge. However deep it is and maybe scary to some, I should be in there teaching it. And every kid I've spoken to about this has always gone, wow. Like Mia, the girl who always comes in the live, she's 15 or 16. She knows what's going on. That was also the time when Colorado Avalanche win the final. Yeah, remember I called Colorado Avalanche to win that Stanley Cup 4-2 before it began, and it did. It did, bang on. I think that was the most perfect series I've ever done. I said exactly what we're going to go down in that. And that was all Kobe and Revelation again. Remember, Kobe got accused of raping somebody in Colorado. A 19-year-old girl, which connects to 67, which connects to the book of Revelation. And that's why I told you Philadelphia and LA, who were playing in the MLS final on November the 5th, they leaving 56 days left in the year. Both ended the regular season with 67 wins. So, yeah, Harris, if you want to check out my website, I'll be truly grateful. The community of people there are off the charts. You will learn something new every single day. And if you ever get lonely, there'll be people there for you, or you can email me or whatever. It's well worth checking out. Any of you who are not there. What Mexican trait has stuck with you? Kindness. Kindness. Mexicans in general, all the ones I've come across, and I've come across many of them, they're kind. They're open-minded, the ones I know. I'm not saying all of them are, because I know that in general, like the government has them by the balls. Most governments have the citizens by the balls, but they're kind. They don't take life too seriously. They can make fun out of each other. They don't get offended, really. But yeah, just their kindness, their warmness. Like when you go walk around the center, they're all smiling, man. When I'm around England or like LA, most people are just either on the phone or kind of like in their own head or miserable. But yeah, probably the biggest trait is the kindness. The sirens going off. Maybe they're coming for me. Maybe they're coming for me. The NBA Finals might finish 4-2. Well, they did, didn't they? I said the NBA Finals 4-2, Stanley Cup 4-2, and the World Series 4-2. And if that does happen, which it probably will, that'll be your 12-6, which is Kobe's death date. 4 + 4 + 4 is 12. 2 + 2 + 2 is 6. There's your 12-6. There's your 12-6. So, again, I'll be really shocked if this World Series doesn't end 4-2. I could be wrong. I'll be shocked. Have you seen any cartels? No. Been here 8 years. I've never had one problem with anybody attacking me. Have people tried to sell me drugs? Yes. Have they tried to sell me drugs in London, in England, in LA, in Chicago? Yeah, I've been offered that. Pretty much any time you go to a decent bar, there's somebody trying to sell you drugs, or there's hookers hanging around. So no, I've not come across the cartel, and I'm certain. Well, I can't say they exist. There's definitely territories. There's definitely people who run the show, and they don't basically own certain areas, but that's their zone. If anybody tries and sells drugs there, that's not a member of their community or cartel, they'll get rid of them. But the cartel, what people need to get in their head, they don't just come for innocent people like you might see in movies. They ain't. The only way the cartel are going to come for you is if you fuck with the cartel. They won't just come at you. But I don't know, for example, you say, hey, hit me up, I'll pay you next week. If you don't pay them next week, they'll have you for breakfast. If you're taking their territory, they'll have you for breakfast. But they don't just come for like a random guy and kidnap them. That's different. There are people that will go around kidnapping people for a ransom and all of that. The cartel don't need to do that. They make enough money. You're very correct, Illusion. There were a lot of late goals in the Champions League, just like you said. They want your energy. I was really laughing because of the mockery. Look at Spurs. Spurs just got a last-minute goal disallowed in the Premier League. And then they get a last-minute goal to finish top of the group. Liverpool scored in the 85th and the 98th minute. All these late goals, all these games, 10-minute extra time. When did that ever happen? Yes, you can say VAR and all of that, but one of the reasons for VAR is to allow this to happen because they need to fulfill 99-minute goals for your 9/11 or 100-minute goals for your 10 times 10 or your 98th minute for Queen Elizabeth's death date, 9/8. All right? I don't know if this is a bet that you can do. I don't care about gambling anymore, but just bet on there to be a goal in the last 10 minutes of every game, it seems, these days. If you did it, I don't know what the odds are, but the amount of late goals, and it ain't just happening in the Premier League. Just knowing the Spurs game, Marseille took the lead. All right, and do you know who scored for them? Guys, number 99. Marseille's number 99 opened the scoring, which is 9 times 11 for 9/11. And then Højbjerg gets the winner. And people just don't seem to care. What was it, 95th minute? 95th, I think. So all they'll call it's a dramatic comeback. The same shit that they do. See, Barcelona won 4-2 for the Beast. I said they'd win that, but they were no value at all. I think they were minus 500. Told you Barcelona would win that. Liverpool 2 late goals. Oh, this made me giggle. I was looking at it. I laughed very hard, actually, because I thought this is just... Rangers scored after 87 minutes, and Ajax scored after 89, which is the Queen's death. This made me laugh. Did I screenshot it? Yeah. So Rangers, who recorded the worst campaign in Champions League history, okay? This made me really laugh out loud, actually. By the way, just know Napoli, Liverpool both on 15 points with 5 wins and 1 draw. The Illuminati were founded on a date that can be written 1-5 or 5-1. And we were just talking about how Patreon took down my account on 26. Napoli have 20 goals and they've conceded 6. And if you notice, Sky Sports kept saying, Liverpool need 4 goals. They need to win by 4 clear goals to finish top. Just like last year, they were hammering. They were so close to 4 trophies, but they got 2 out of 4. Elizabeth died on 8-9, the 24th prime. So Rangers, who scored 2 goals in this group and conceded 22 for 2-2-2. All right, they lost all 6 games. 6 games, 6 losses. The Book of Revelations, the 66th book of the Bible. But it said this, it made me giggle. So Rangers couldn't qualify. All right? There was no way they could qualify. They were done. Okay? Ajax had 3 points. Rangers didn't have any. Even if Rangers won, They got bummed on goal difference. All right, they're -20, Ajax -5. And it said this, guys. It said Rangers 0, Ajax 2. A VAR check sees Kudos goal disallowed for offside. Rangers breathe a sigh of relief. I remember drinking water right before I was going to go coach, and I almost spat it out. So Rangers are getting battered all the time. They're down 2-0 down at home. All right, there's hardly any time left. It looks like Ajax have made it 3-0. It gets disallowed for offside. And then it says Rangers breathe a sigh of relief. Like, you would say that if maybe Rangers were up 1-0 and they could have qualified and the goal gets disallowed. You don't say it when they're 2-0 down with about 20 minutes left and they can't qualify for anything. Why would you breathe a sigh of relief? And speaking of VAR before I go, it's killed the game. Well, it's one of the things that's killed the game. Napoli took the lead after 53 minutes. It got disallowed. And now read this. A set piece does the trick for the Italians. Ostigard heads home from about 6 yards out. Okay, about 6 yards out. But there is a VAR check. The lines are being drawn. Have you seen some of these lines? It's so funny, actually. The lines are still being drawn. Almost 2 minutes this is taken. It's very, very tight. Ostigard is praying. Almost 3 minutes. And then boom, in capital letters. Energy harvesting. Goal ruled out by VAR. Liverpool 0, Napoli 0. All right, so it took 3 minutes. And VAR was supposedly going to be used to clear up clear errors. All right, like the Lampard, did it cross the line or not? Or a blatant handball or a dive. Okay, I can somewhat understand it. I don't like the idea of it. I can comprehend that. But if this is the case, why did it take them 3 minutes to rule out this goal due to a very tight offside? Satan's a scumbag, all right? And these VAR lines are embarrassing. I said VAR would kill the game, and it's so funny how many people, all of my friends said I was just a knobhead. Go with the times, all right? You have no idea. Yeah, I was right, wasn't I? I was right. Players celebrate, and then it's taken off them. Fans celebrate. Energy harvesting, which I've been saying forever. All right, the pro game is dead. It's demonic. So VAR, 3 minutes to come to a conclusion on a really tight. Whatever happened to the benefit of the attacker as well? Where did that rule go? The benefit of the attacker. If it looks tight, benefit the attacker. Now, I've seen, when I used to watch it, I remember them saying that like a player was offside because of his like toenail or something. Something ridiculous, they said. Oh, his finger was offside. His finger was, if this is the last man, this guy's finger was like that. So he was offside. And when they draw these stupid lines that are not even straight, they do what they want. The game's a disgrace. You couldn't pay me to watch a Premier League game now. You couldn't pay me to watch a Champions League game at all. No way. I told you I could watch them and win a ton of money easily with my knowledge and the way I can basically decode what the commentators are saying. They know, whether they know or not, like willingly know, Satan's giving away clues all the time in those games. Why I won in play practically every day when I used to bet. I ain't giving Satan my energy anymore. I'll use that energy to call him out. All right? I'm not going to be cheering when one of his little Satanist minions score. I used to do that. So if I'm betting on Liverpool and Salah scores a last-minute winner and I'm cheering, he's all right with that. But now if I'm looking at it and thinking, there you go, that's why Salah scored. Here's another satanic ritual. This might wake up a few more people. Satan don't like that. He don't like that. I figured that out. That this is more about a spiritual war than me winning a bit of extra cash, which soon enough is going to take off me anyway. It's going to take it off all of us. Right. A couple of days ago, a team scored 3 goals in 99 seconds. 33 times 3 is 99. Kenya, who I'm meeting, that beautiful girl, she sent me a 3-minute, 33-second audio today. The girl who, oh my word, she's just messaged me as I said that. What? Guys, I was just talking about Kenya, and she's just messaged me. I've just shouted. My neighbors probably hate me. I don't think I can play this. Let me see how long it is. It's 52 seconds. Kobe 5-2 in NBA Finals. Elizabeth became the queen in 52. I can't believe that I just said a name. The last time we text was 8:29. It's now 10:24. I just said a name and the 333 and she texts me. What? Cain, guys, is connected to the Bible. Cain and Abel's Adam and Eve's children. Cain actually loses in the battle of Abel and Cain, which is interesting. Right, so yes, Sebastian, good shout with Pachuca having a clock tower, which has its interior designed by the same dude that designed Big Ben. Do you know Big Ben? It stopped working. Okay, the time stopped working on Captain Tom Moore's 77th birthday. It's in my book. I've made some edits. If you want my book, guys, you're interested in supporting me, check it out. I've made some real big edits. So Big Ben stopped, didn't it? It stopped working. And most people don't know that it was on April the 30th, 1997. April the 30th is when Hitler died, but it's also when Captain Tom Moore, the brave little man who walked 100 laps around his garden, he was 77 at the time. And just so you know that Big Ben, remember Big Ben just retired recently in the NFL, Ben Roethlisberger. It stopped for 54 minutes, guys. Queen Elizabeth died 251st day of the year, the 54th prime. Kobe Bryant and Gianna died a span of 5 months and 4 days after Kobe's 41st birthday. It's insane. It stopped on Captain Tom Moore's 77th birthday, crying out loud, which is 7 times 11, which was the Euro 2020 final where Italy beat England. The Vatican against the Freemasons. The Weeknd's name is Abel. Oh my goodness. What, the guy who's also playing Justin Bieber? Toluca versus Pachuca 8-2. What? Queen Elizabeth born 4-2, won the 82nd prime. So we're all coded, yep. But you have free will. But yeah. God communicates with us via a code. So he communicates with me. And with other people, I feel. Yeah, we all have a code. But you have free will to determine what goes on with that code. You can obviously play around with code. You can play around with it. And if you're aware of the code, that's when you can play around with it. Guys, I think I should go because I don't want to ignore this girl. And that was pretty wild that I was talking about her and she messaged me. So upper body doesn't count as offside. Mate, whatever they want can count as offside. They can tell you your nose is offside now. All right? They can do whatever they want. The game's dead. Not football. I coached today. It was a brilliant session. was teaching Daly how to use his left foot, take him next level. Because when I figured out using my left foot and I could take you left or right, I was going to strike it and finish. I'm actually probably better, it seems, when I'm running at a defender and I cut them onto my left foot and spank it in the corner. So I was teaching him that. Football's beautiful. The professional game's horrific. It's done. I think Bayern Munich won the Champions League. I said it at the beginning. And they just went 33 games unbeaten in the group stages for another 33. Yeah, I need to go, Luis, if you look at me. So I can't believe I've just done another 2 hours. But yeah, thanks for supporting me. I seem to push through, don't I? When people think that illusion is probably done now, is going to burn out. I keep going. Did you hear that bird? Baby, hee hee. I feel like that bird was trying to communicate with me. All right, guys. I'm off. I'm getting a cough. But thank you. See what tomorrow brings. And I'll look into that game 4 to try and see if I can make some more connections to Revelation. See that it's playing out, guys. I can't believe it was 7-0 after I was talking about 70. How big it is with Philadelphia. Can't believe it. Then again, yes, I can. Yes, I can believe it. Yeah, I am tired, Newton. All right. Got to remember it's like 11 o'clock. Oh, it's 10:31. 10:31, oh my word, 10:31. That's the date of Halloween and Marcus Rashford's birthday. I'm going on, my brain's not going to stop. Take care. Much love. God bless you all. God wins. And whether the Antichrist is 1 person, 2 people, 5,000 people, 1 million people, the Antichrist has lost. Haven't you, baby? Woo-hoo. Off I go. Take care. Thank you, guys. Adios. Ooh.